Hey YouTube, it's Dimitri, and today I wanted to talk about a video I posted recently, so I tried to do something a little different. I'm not great at video editing, but I did a video recently on the benefits of quants and coffees and doing coffee meetups, and I wanted to do a little bit of a script, and of course it came off as a little bit rigid and awkward, and I'm not great at these sorts of more creative, artistic approaches. And I wanted the video to be more or less shots of people in a cafe actually talking, comfortable chairs, relaxed, everything else. But I didn't use AI. I just downloaded some stock clips, put some stuff together, and tried to make some good premise out of it. And the video, of course, didn't do very well at all. Not surprising. I was hoping for something, but it didn't happen. So I thought I would explain a little bit more on the benefits of having coffee chats with quants. So again, the whole premise is more or less like many of you are just wasting opportunities and missing opportunities all around you. The world is full of opportunities, and at the end of the day, you're not going to get what you want unless you ask. So that's lesson one. If you don't ask, you don't get. And so I've been in many situations. Like recently, I went to New York City. I literally went out for the sole purpose of going out to Columbia's program, their master's in mathematical finance, and then just talking to the program. Like, sole attention. Paid to go out, everything set up, ready to go, and just went out for New York City. So I posted on LinkedIn, hey, I'm going to be in New York City. If anyone wants to meet up, let me know. A good friend of mine, Ching Sheng, over at Fordham, messaged me and was like, hey, we have the professional seminar at Fordham the night before. Why don't you come out and talk to Fordham as well? So I was like, awesome, let's do it. So again, the program, the university, Ching is seeing there's a great opportunity, taking advantage of the opportunity. Awesome. So I now have extra time. I'm flying in at like 10 a.m. in New York City on a Tuesday, and I have basically half of Tuesday and almost all of Wednesday minus this presentation I had to meet with people. And so I was like, hey, on LinkedIn, if anyone wants to meet, let me know. Somebody said, yeah, I'll let you know. They were unfortunately busy. They had to go out of town. Completely understandable. And then a student from Fordham actually messaged me and said, hey, I'd love to have coffee if you had some time. Let me know. So I set up a time with him and I had coffee. And we sat and chat about the industry and regulations and risk management and modeling and skills. And it was a great one-on-one time. Now, typically, when you do one virtual, I charge you for that because my time is very limited. But when I'm in New York City or I'm traveling, I'm going to be in Ohio coming up here soon. When I'm there, I plan to kind of allot my time to spend with people that are there locally to build relationships, bonds, and ties. And that is the beauty of coffee or tea, or you get a hot cocoa, or you could, one individual I had had caffeine sensitivity issues, so didn't drink anything, and that's okay. But it's just great to sit and chat in like a relaxed environment and get some time in and learn about different people. So even when I go and like a student says, hey, I want to chat about the industry, and I'm talking to them, I'm asking questions about them too, because I'm learning about their background, their education, the master's programs or undergrads they're in, trying to glean information from that. So a lot of people missed out on that opportunity. And I've done these in the past. And again, you have to start thinking in your head, how much is that worth? What's the value to that? I've had job offers come out of coffee meetups, like people I've built long-term relationships from doing coffee meetups. So those sorts of things are beneficial. Now, the other piece of this, as I talked about, was at a company I worked at long ago. And in the afternoons, we would tend to go down and have coffee. And sometimes it would just be the quant and validation teams going down, model development validation teams going down. But a lot of times it was like the heads of the departments would be like, hey, we're going to go down. Like we're head of model development. And I think there were even a few business people that would come once in a while too. And they would just join in and be 4 of us, 3 of us, something like that. Maybe 6 of us at most. Typically it's like 3 people though, 4 people. And we'd go down at like, I don't know. So it's like 2:30, 3 o'clock. Usually about 3 o'clock was like the official, things are starting to wind down time. And we'd go down at 3 o'clock, run down to the local coffee place. Shout out to Stupid Good Coffee because they used to be there. They're not there anymore, I don't believe. And them and Starbucks, we go down and just grab a cup of coffee and sit and, like how are things going? And, what are you working on at work? And the conversations would deviate. And there are really 2 big important things that came out of this from a colleague level. One, I made great contacts and connections with people I didn't work with directly. So I might have went and known one person, but the other people I didn't know that well. And when it's a new job, it's a great time to learn about other people. They have families, kids. One thing that surprises a lot of people I tell when I go out to dinners and meet with other quants, big famous people in the industry, as well as people you probably never heard of. We talk about two things. Sometimes we talk a little bit about technical work, like what papers are working on and, what's the job like. But then it deviates into like your family. It always does. Like, oh, I'm going on this vacation and, whatever. And you're like, oh, great. Well, how many kids do you have? You're like, oh, I've got 2 kids and, these are ages. And then I'm like, oh man, yeah, spring break's coming up. And like, they start to deviate and you get to build long-term relationships with these people. I still have relationships from my first quant job back in 2014, and I still know people on a personal level. And there's kind of like a network of us. Like sometimes I'll run into someone and they're like, oh, did you hear so-and-so? I think they moved to Australia and they've got like 2 kids now and they're doing great. And I'm like, I didn't know that. I forgot I haven't messaged them in a long time. And then I'm like talking about their kids and their families. You build these long-term relationships, and this is often how you find jobs. You have a nice support network around you. When I have left jobs and announced it on YouTube, because I'm on YouTube, a lot of times these people reach out and they're like, Dimitri, I just wanted to check in and see what you're working on, see how you're doing. I saw you left your job. I don't have any job openings, but wanted to catch up with you. And you build out these relationships on a personal level. And these often are just nice to have friends. Pure and simple, as a human, and just nice to have a friend who can relate, chat with you, and be there for you. On the other hand, it's been something that turns into promotions or into new job opportunities or even switching teams internally, right? People often ask me, Dimitri, how do I go from this team to that team? You got to know people. Did you do the coffee meetups? Did you ask someone to go out and grab a drink? Like, do something to get to know them, right? It's not hard. And especially internally, I feel like people don't take advantages enough. Like you will have someone on another team, you're like, oh man, like they're a managing director and I'm an analyst and like whatever. If you're like, hey, I'm interested in what you guys do in a team, would you have time to grab coffee in the next couple of weeks? Like I'd love just to kind of chat with you about what you do at the firm. Super casual. Again, it's awkward. I know. I'm not the most social person, which surprises a lot of people. But it's a good time to meet people and learn about the firm and get promotions because you kind of see the business differently by networking and building those out here. Now, it's also a great time on the technical side as well. I've had hard, challenging work problems and I'm like, oh, this thing is killing me and I'm stuck. And of course, I've already asked my direct close team and everything. But often I'll go to lunch or whatever, coffee or something with someone from a different team. Maybe it's development, validation, some other process, even like the operations teams, which are the non-quant teams. And I'll explain my issue and my struggles and the process I'm going through. And they'll be like, why didn't you do it this way? And you're sitting there and you're like, obviously, like, obviously that's how you should do it. I didn't think of that. Or maybe it's something new you learn, but you don't get these opportunities typically in meetings where they're overly structured and they're awkward and there's like a weird hierarchy because there's too many people in the room or the wrong people are in the room or you're just too junior or you're maybe too senior and you don't feel like you can weigh in on things. Coffees are just great casual ways to make progress in a career in general. And I want to follow this up with a final note that it's not like you're doing the coffees to get something out of somebody. Right? It's not like you go to the coffee to get the promotion. Like you're like, oh, hey, I really want that promotion. Do you want to go out and grab coffee? And then like, oh, I went and grabbed coffee and I didn't get a promotion. Like this sucks and doesn't work. You guys, you have to really invest in people and take an actual interest in them as people. That's one of the life lessons you should take away from this lesson. Maybe the second life lesson. I think we had one at the beginning here. Second life lesson is really get to know people and just enjoy them for who they are. And I think I've mentioned this before in another video I mentioned about, sometimes you have to have tolerance. So as a junior employee, one of the big struggles I had was everything had to be logical and it had to be correct. And this person has no idea what they're talking about because they said this, that, and the other, and they don't know what they're doing. And it's like, yeah, they might not know this topic or this area. But one of the hardest parts in the quant finance space is quant finance is huge. And so often, like I'm talking about my space and then somebody will talk about something, they'll bring up a topic. And I'm like, I can't really weigh in on that. Because I don't do that daily in my daily job. Like I saw it in grad school or I did it on a model 5, 6, 7 years ago. Like I don't recall. And having that humility and understanding and accepting people, even when you have disagreements, is part of just being a better person and in this channel, being a better quant. But just being a better person, like learning to just, get along with people, hear new ideas, weight them in your head. Maybe look them up later and go look at it and see like, I don't agree with that, but you can go look at it. Do some research. Maybe have another coffee meetup and say, hey, I looked this up. I don't understand what you're talking about. Like, can you explain this to me better and have that time there to build out relationships? So I hope you guys go. I'm begging you guys, please, if you follow my channel, please go out and do coffee with people, whether it's other students in your program, even like if you're a grad student, maybe you're not fitting in real well. Look at me. I don't fit in. I haven't fit in anywhere. It's a great time to do that. Guys, go ask someone to do that. If you're at a company, go ask somebody else if they want to grab coffee in the afternoon, if you're in the office. Even just a virtual coffee. Like if you guys are completely remote, do a virtual coffee. Just say, hey, do you want to grab a virtual coffee, after lunch, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock or something? Like, let's just grab a drink of some sorts, tea, coffee, water, I don't care. And let's just have a chat. I'd love just to get to know more about what you're working on and what you're doing. So you guys go out there, network, be a little bit more social. It will be fun. If you come to any of my conferences, my presentations, please stop by and say hi. I think a lot of people that have met me in the last few years have mentioned like, oh, you're so personable. I'm like, I guess, like I still feel like I'm a student. Like I still feel like I'm a junior employee. So I'm always happy to chat with people. I am quite shy on like approaching someone new and being like, oh, it's, some famous person in the industry. But again, get out there, network, socialize, and really build up that network to build out a better career. And you'll enjoy your job more because you'll get to know your colleagues better. So anyways, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And as always, until next time.